best rock music on earth and the Daily Derringer Podcast.
If I had $1 million.
If I had $1 million.
What would you do with $1 million?
$1 million?
$1 million.
What would you do?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I'd do. I would pay off my mortgage, pimp out my backyard, buy 2 new cars, and blow the rest. Give out to some friends, treats, whatever. There wouldn't be a ton left, but still have a lot of mortgage to go.
Would you go to a local establishment and make it rain?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, why not?
Would you purchase the Make It Rain machine?
would be
where
nice.
you don't even have to do it by hand. It's a little machine that
seen
makes
that.
it rain for you.
Well, yeah, I would, but it'd probably be 5s. Right? I'm not going to let some strippers not retiring off me. You know what I'm saying?
See, I would look at it a little bit differently, and I would say, okay, I've got money, and I'm going to essentially give it to people here, but there's got to be some entertainment in it for me, so it would be a machine, like a little weapon that fires off loonies and toonies.
Yes.
So you got to take one in the face, and then you get to bend down and pick it up.
But it's yours.
Yeah,
Sure.
because nobody ever gets hurt by paper money.
Right.
Or cotton money.
But isn't that the great, like, the $1 million is such a great number because you can really get your head around what you would do with it, right? And I think for so many people, I don't know, but for so many people, of course, would you like 10 million? Sure. But 1 million just makes it easy, takes care of your problems, and then you're set.
Well, not if you're 6 in debt. You're $6
Well, that's
million in
true.
debt.
Yeah, that's true.
$1 million doesn't
Yeah,
really do that.
That's
much.
true. Okay, now what would you do for $1 million? Now this is interesting. Deadspin threw this question out on social media. For $1 million, would you try to score in an NBA game, okay, get a hit in the major leagues, or run for a first down in the NFL? Now, 82% of people, their vote was to try to score in an NBA game.
Okay, but I can tell you, guys, I've played for the Harlem Globetrotters. And it was the worst sporting moment of my life.
I bet.
Montreal Forum, I'm going to say 1994. These guys set me up for everything against the Washington Generals. I was getting Meadowlark Lemon, giving me alley-oop opportunities, and I did not sink a basket. So that one's out as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so let's go to the next one then. You play softball?
Yes.
Right? Johnny, you do play softball.
I sure do.
Do you think you can get a hit in an MLB game? I mean, this thing is coming at you 90-odd miles per hour, right?
No, sir.
There's no chance.
Only, I think the best shot would be against the knuckleballer. That somehow the knuckleball wouldn't move, and it would be like 52 miles an hour, right over the plate, no movement, probably eke out a single.
And I think that's the hope, is to maybe potentially bloop out a single, eke out a single, or whatever. But the problem, I think, is not so much the knuckleball, but let's go against the regular pitcher, because most of them do throw that way. It's like you'd be so scared to get hit by the ball that you couldn't even think to swing at the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like that whole, I might take this in the chops, is going to throw me off my game. Like if you said to me, guaranteed this thing's going to come at you at 90, there's no chance it's going to hit you. It's going to be a strike every single time. I still don't think I could hit it.
Okay, so a guy I worked with, a guy named Randy Tiemann. Randy sadly passed away this last year, but Randy was a sports broadcaster, and he and I worked together in radio in Ottawa many years ago, and then he moved to Montreal and did a bunch of stuff on TV in Montreal. And one year, and I thought, this is the bravest thing, like outside of war zones, that I've seen a reporter do, and unquestionably the bravest thing I've ever seen a sports reporter do, is that Randy, in spring training one year, stood in for Randy Johnson heaters. Like, I'm sorry, Randy may be the most intimidating fastball in baseball history.
He's 9 foot tall.
And he stood in. Now, I think Randy was taking a little something off her. But when you see it, like the camera's up that close and you hear that smack into the catcher's mitt, not a chance I am willing to put any trust into the pitcher that he's not going to actually take my head clean off the rest of the body.
Okay, so let's go to the last one then. Make 10 yards in the NFL. Are you kidding me? That's the third and final choice.
I'm going to add one more,
Okay.
if you don't mind, if I can screw up the game a little bit. NFL,
There's no chance. There's no chance.
Zero chance.
Those guys see you coming across
Of
the
getting
middle.
a first down?
Are you kidding? There's no chance.
There is zero chance.
They would all have to die at the same time on the field.
There would have to be a sniper in the stadium taking out 11 guys, because even if there's one left,
Right.
he's tackling me.
And they see you, right? Hey, Rook, what's up? Here I come. I think out of the three, a best chance would be getting a point in the NBA. That's what I think for myself.
I having been on the big floor, my
Yeah.
friend, it is significantly more difficult than we might believe it is.
I don't doubt it. But
Well,
I
these
think
guys even told me. They said, "John, that's your name, right, John?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "We're going to go out there and we're playing the Washington Generals. Dude, you're a Harlem Globetrotter tonight." And I'm getting all pumped up. And they said, "We're going to set you up." And I got dick.
incredible. So what do you think? The baseball for you?
No, I couldn't. No, I'm 0 for 3.
0 for 3?
Zero chance at $1 million.
I think out of the three, the NBA, the MLB, there's a fluke possibility, right? There is a possibility that you will fluke one out.
Yep.
In the NFL, you're dead.
You're dead.
that's never
Even
ever happening.
if by some miracle you made the 10 yards,
Yeah.
you would still get killed.
Oh yes, you would be bouncing off guys. They'd be going after your knees. There's no way. But I feel like for me, the NBA would be number one.
Yeah.
MLB would be a fluke job of the highest order. The NFL, I just cry.
Even if you
Yeah.
caught it at 8 yards, you're getting hit
Oh.
as soon as you touch that ball, and you're dead, and it would hurt. Okay.
Coming across the middle as a receiver is worse than being a running
And
back.
he'd hang you up something fierce just to see you get killed.
hung up. You get hung up, and you have Lawrence Taylor, LT, the most fearsome player in the history of the National
LT
Football.
now.
Oh, LT
LT now.
LT 40 years from now.
Yes.
LT dead.
Sure.
His corpse would trip you
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yeah.
right, it would.
He would be the Walking Dead.
So, watched a lot of tennis this weekend, right?
Okay, that I wanted to
Yeah.
go to one other place too, but with tennis,
Yes.
this proves what we watched on the weekend proves what we'd said some time ago. Yes, we could get a point off Serena.
Double fault?
We could, and double fault is the only way it's happening.
Because
And she did it on the weekend.
I love tennis, and I out of all the sports that are out there, I think if I was to play a sport where I can keep up a little bit, not to anyone who's super athletic, I'm talking about your average Joe, it would be tennis. I really enjoy it. And I was watching thinking, could I get a point off her? And that would be at a double fault, or maybe you get lucky on that second serve when it comes in at 80 miles
No.
per hour.
No, because then you're getting it back to her, and
Right.
she's smoking
Right,
it past you.
right.
No.
But I'd love to know in 3 sets, aside from a double fault, could you get literally one single point on her?
No, and I don't think most humans could.
I would love to try
No,
it.
I don't think so. I think it would be. Look, if Serena has blown through some of the best players in the world.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people. One of the things you notice, and you couldn't help but notice, I'd never watched a full match of Bianca Andreescu. I mean, the kid is obviously got a tremendous amount of talent. But one of the things you can see, and you can see it in tennis, I think, as much as you can in any other sport, you can see it with hitters in baseball too, is you can see that they are making moves that they have practiced thousands of times. That muscle memory plays such a huge part in it, that those shots, now there are, much like golf, you're going to find yourself occasionally in a position where you have to do something you haven't practiced a ton for. But the consistency and the way that they return some first serves,
Oh my God.
How do you see it?
zero chance. Okay, I'm going to throw in one more here.
Yep.
One more possibility. Goal for one period in one NHL game.
Go in net, you mean?
Yep.
Oh, no. I'd get killed.
My save percentage would be like 0.02. Like everything would go in. Because much like when Rife stood in goal for that lacrosse game that 24-hour lacrosse
Yeah.
game, I'd just be turning my back, turning my side. I'd be so scared. No way.
And you know what?
I don't say that might. I'd rather do the NFL.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I don't want
Yeah.
shots. No
Hey, listen,
way.
I will say this, Johnny, to back. I don't know if I would make that call, but I'll tell you, it's right up there with it because,
way.
I spent a lot of time at the rink, and every once in a while, you'll see your boys coach. Like when there's not a goalie in the net, when they're kind of screwing around, and you're talking about a grown man, who maybe played like junior A or whatever, who's good. Fire the puck so fast, and when you see it like that, you're like, I can't imagine standing in there. And as you said, look, when I played lacrosse, every instinct, it doesn't make sense, is to turn your back. Your body is like, don't face this. So everything would go in. It would be
It would also hit you in the unprotected areas, which
Yes.
is why you're not supposed to turn around as a
Right.
goalie. Okay, I would like to, and I don't have the information right in front of me, but I don't recall a ton of injuries to NHL goalies off a shot. And I'm not talking about like a pulled groin from going to get a shot or a guy barreling over a goalie in his crease. I mean a goalie being deeply injured during a game because he took a shot somewhere. You don't see it very often. If you put together a best of NFL injuries from yesterday alone, that would equal 5 years of NHL goalie
Yeah.
injuries. I saw one yesterday, and it might have been in the Cleveland game, where a defender went to tackle a back, and the back jumped into the air, and he essentially, think of somebody as hard as they can, kicking you right in the head, but it was his knee that ended up hitting this guy in the head, and it was a gruesome injury. And this was one out of how many that we saw yesterday.
Nick Foles with his collarbone, right?
Yeah, broke his
Foles,
collarbone.
another-
He's gone.
Yep.
So, would you guys ever, for $1 million, go down an Olympic-sized ski jump?
When you said $1 million and go down, you had me scared there, Johnny. Thank you for not doing
problem,
that.
man. No problem. I decided to keep it classy.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right. So
No,
what
I
was
don't
ski
feel
hill?
Eddie the Eagle style.
No.
Wow.
That's to me. That's scary stuff.
Sure, I get $1 million, but I still have a broken neck. Like, there's too much that can go wrong with that.
Vinko Bogatai.
That's right. He was the man.
Vinko Bogatai, and somebody put it up on Twitter the other day. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. And when he goes sideways. But the thing is, remember how awesome that piece of footage was? Like, you may have even watched the beginning of Wild World of Sports. Now, there's 500 of those on Twitter or Instagram every single day.
Yeah, you know what? Those are so easy to find. But at the time, it was massive.
I saw a guy attempting to Evel Knievel over a dumpster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On a skateboard.
Just a dude.
It went so horribly wrong that back in those days, this would have been huge footage. Now it's like, I got 10 better.
So what's the easiest sport where you wouldn't get hurt?
Golf.
Golf. Yeah.
I think
You don't
golf
have
would
to be
be
in great
easy.
shape. I mean, these guys are in good shape now, but there's many generation of golfers that would.
Because you're not going to be injured
Yeah.
in golf.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to actually beat you up, which might make it far more exciting for
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's also big time money as well. You also make some big time money doing that. Like you could also say bowling, right? But like you're not
Bowling
making any
too.
money.
Yeah,
You're not making any
yeah.
real money. I don't
But
think.
Part of the
maybe you run
PBA.
into Roy Munson,
Sure.
Yeah. And I hear.
And you get bowling alley
Ernie
fries.
McCracken.
Yeah. And listen, I hear about the girls that like bowling,
Mm-hmm.
the girls that follow the PBA,
Yeah.
smoke shows,
Yeah, nice.
right?
Really?
Bull bunnies.
Deep hotties.
Oh,
the ball
yeah.
buddy. You got ball buddies?
That's right. Yeah, ball buddies. Buddies.
Lane lizards.
There's some good lane lizards in Cheektowaga.
Oh,
Wait,
I
you hit
tell
the
you
tour,
what.
man. We got to get on the road.
Wait till the tour hits Ohio. The lane lizards outside of Altoona, Pennsylvania are just what you're looking for. Ohio, Pennsylvania. Best lane lizards in the game. In the game.
Wasn't long enough?